volume 28 of the Space Battleship Yamato uh, from Hachette Collections Japan. Um, and this episode looks like we're going to be working again on the first bridge again. Looks like it's going to be a lot of fiber optics added in. Oh yes, we're going to be building a lot of fiber optics, it looks like, to this stage here. Putting more stickers in. It's like, yep, we're going to be building that, and once we get that done, looks like we're going to be doing, oh yes, we're going to be adding on to what we were previously building before. Putting all this in, and it looks like we're going to have quite a fiddly amount of stuff by the time we get done with this little thing. Looks like we're having a little nations of flags down there. It's going to take us a little bit of time. Here we are. We're talking about the wave engine. It's got a little bit of schematics. Shows some of the controls. This over here talks about some of the where they have for the wave engine in on the bridge, and that looks like it's about it. Oh, it looks like in our volume 29 we're going to be getting some little bitty stands to take and put our Yamato parts on for display. Yay! But I wouldn't trust those probably to take and work on it if anything. It's just more or less to just hold it up so it doesn't tip over, because it is getting quite big. So let's get to working on the parts. Here's parts for volume 28. Looks like we got a lot of things to do, and we're going to need a little bit of our super glue, or as they would call it, all-purpose adhesive for this. And we will see what we got here in the parts box. Let's get them all out. Alright, we got a lot of stuff here. We've got a couple of the wings, the upper and lower parts, our ever-loving stickers that we've got with different colors this time. We got a lower part of the tower, and we've got 3 sprues of different little bitty lights that will go into the fiber optics. This and our screws. So we're going to be needing some parts from the previous part of the build. So first of all, what we're going to do is we're going to take this piece here, this one here, and we're going to add, there's 2 of longer ones, I recall here from what I saw, and 4 of these shorter ones. And what we're going to need is these 4 shorter ones here. If I recall here, let me look here and see. I want to make sure that I am getting the right ones. Okay. Those are both. Yes. These are all the ones that we're going to have in here. So first of all, we want to get our sprue cutters, and we want to cut them little pieces off right there on this here to make those even. So let's do all of them first. There we go. So now we're going to do this kind of like the one we had the last time, where we're going to put them in here and in the sides to get them through here. So we're going to pull these through like this, and this one is going to go down into there like so. this one down through here and pull them in down in there like so. Before we go any further with putting the other two in, we want to take this once we get it. And we want to add our stickers here that we have. We want to use the green stickers here. This is what we're going to use to indicate these ones here. Again, we're putting them up about 4 centimeters from the end of the piece here, like so. And like so. Now we've got that part done. Now we're going to take and continue and put in these on the sides, which will come in here and this is where we will have to use our tweezers to pull this down so that we can get it to bend in where we need it to go. Pull that tight so it's in there like that. And we'll do the same on this side here. With this side. And we'll pull it down. In. Here. There we go. We got it started. And there we go. We got that part done. Now we're going to put that off to the side for right now. Oh, no. We're going to, first of all, we're going to add in our other wires, and we want these to be the SL wires. These are going to be our SL wires here. SL wires. Not sure if the SL stands for standing lights or side lights, or which these would be on the sides, and that's so. Or it's just the way they decide that they're gonna make them. But oops. Well, no, we don't want to stick it to our mat. It's not a good place. That will not help us at all when we get there. There we go. We got that done. Put that off to the side there. And then we're going to take and work on putting in these next parts here, which we will get these here cut down like we had. Put them off to the side there. These longer fiber optic ones here. Doing the same, snipping these tips off from here. And then what they want us to do is, once we got that done, they want us to take these pieces right here, these little long tubey things. And they want us to take and cut those off from the sprue, and we are going to stick those into these parts here. They almost look like they're about the same size as those other, as the fiber optic itself. So if we got any little pieces on here, I gotta make sure I don't throw those away. So there's some parts there. Let's take and make sure that we've got these snipped up. There is a little bit of a nipple right here. It's a little bit wider on one end than it is on the other. And what I think they want us to do is they want us to take these here, and we're going to put this in with the smaller end into a hole down here at the end here. You can see it's going to be right here. It's going to point out to this end here, and so we're going to take our tweezers, looks like, and we're going to stick that in this hole here, just like that. So it's up there and slightly sticking out, looks like. Now what we want to do is we'll do one of these each at a time here, and make sure that we've got this down to where. Let's put the other one in here while we're at it, just so we don't lose this. Might as well. What we're going to do is put that right in there on that side there. Do the same thing. We'll set that up this side. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take one of these here. And we're getting everything all hooked up here together. Let's move that off to the side there right now. Okay. So now we're going to take this here, each one of these, and we're going to put this brass piece on the end here. It's going to go into this little bit of a part here, and we're going to just kind of mold it around into this slot here. Bring it around like so. I can see this is could be a little bit of a fun thing here to try to get done. So now we're going to take our, looks like, nope, it's not that one, this piece here that we've got, and we're going to put that right up against that light piece there. And we will, yeah, I was going to say this is going to be a little bit fun here. We may end up having to take and put a little bit of some tacky glue to tack this in here, just to keep it in place where we put it in here. Not CA glue. We don't want to use CA glue because it could melt the fiber itself. So we want to probably use some magic rubber glue. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to glue these in here, and we'll come back to this once we get this these tacked in better, and that's where we're going to be. So we'll be right back. Okay, had to take a little hiatus, so I kind of used a little bit of not super glue, but I put a little bit of glue in this track and that to hold this down, and I clamped it down. So I didn't figure you needed to see that off camera, but Now that we've got them both done, now I can kind of put this in here and not have to fight with them quite as bad. Because trying to keep that in, this part here in line and this in line together could be a little bit of a pain. So we're gonna try to push that in to hold that pin at the end here in, and we're gonna trying to see. I think I'm almost apt to think that needs a little bit of clearing up. This one here needs some slight cleanup on it. I did not get a very good cut on the end of that sprue, so it's got a little bit of a nipple on there. There we go. Let's try that now. That might be one of the only times that I really kind of cut away from doing anything, is when I need to do something and preset it so that it's fixed for that. But I'm hoping that's one of the few times. So now we're going to try to push that back in there. And this is all the way back here. That's there. Yes. We're going to try to attach these to pins. I don't think I need to glue these in, but if I have to, I will. I feel like we're not quite where we need to be on this piece here. It does seem like it is sitting in there correctly. There we go. Now we've got her. She's sitting down in there now. Once we get this put into the other piece here, it will hold that together on this end. So we're not too concerned about that. So let's try this one here. Looks like we got about the same thing. I'm kind of pushing this down into that light piece that's in the end here to kind of seat them together to each other. Nope, that's not it. Let's take this here and we're going to press this down in again just a little bit, like so. Kind of coming in at an angle here with this here, and pressing it into that light fixture. This one feels like it's not gonna It's not going to play with us today. It wants to, well, no, maybe it will. I think I have got it. I think we do have it. Alright, now we've got that done. We are going to, oops, and misplaced my instructions. There they are. We're going to have that, and our next thing is, and I will add the these on at the end here once we get this in. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to take this piece here, and we've got to add in little light fixtures right here and right here into this hole and this one here, and they're asking us to take these here, and we're going to take and they want us to put a little bit of glue on this little bit of a notch. Focus. Sometimes I think this camera does not focus worth a dilly squat, even though it's supposed to be auto-focusing. But right in here, there's a notch on each side, and it's going to slip down on there, but they want us to put a little bit of adhesive or all-purpose glue on this for these to hold them in before we get all this stuff put together, just to keep them from falling out. So that's what we will do. We shall do that. So we're going to take this bit of glue here, and we're going to just kind of put a little bit right in here, right there, and a little bit right here, right there, and right there. Then we're going to take these, because they have a little nipple on the thing where I'm picking it up at, and that's got to go into the hole on each side, and these are going to need a little bit more trimming on the edges here, like so. Sorry you can't quite see what I'm doing here, because this is so tiny, some of this stuff is. Oops. There's really no right or left to these parts. We're going to slide it on that little thing there if we can and get it into this hole here, or at least start it in there. There we go. That one's in. Right there. And do the same on this side here. We get it started into the hole here. Once we get that started in the hole, we'll be all set here. May have to get out my cheaters to take and actually see what we're doing here. There we go. I mentioned that, and it just goes right in there. Did you notice that? Anytime you're ever working on something, you're like, oh, maybe I need to get that, and all of a sudden you threaten it, and it's like, okay, I'm going to do it. So once we got that done, we're going to take these green pieces here, And we're going to do the same thing with these here, cutting them tight to the actual piece, and that's what makes this one, this pair a little bit better, because it's very fine blades on it, so it lets you get in there real close to it. So you try not to use these for anything that's very thick versus the older style ones. That's for one thing. So we've got those done. And now these ones here are going to go into this front part here, and we are going to, they do have an angle to them. So we're going to put a little bit of glue right back here so that they don't, down in there, like that. And these are going to go flush with this, and since it's at an angle, we want to put the flat side in with the angled side out. And I believe just a little bit of there. Let's pull that back out a second here. A little bit of a piece on this edge here. Just got to get it finally cut off there. There we go. There's one side in. Now let's see here. We're going to look at this one here while we're at it. Make sure we're okay with this. That little bit off right there. And we are going to push this one in to this side here, and there we go. Now we've got those in there, you can see. And they're sitting flush with this part here. So that's that. And now what we're going to do is we're going to feed these pieces in like so into, and I want they're going to go down in through this side here. So they're going to come down in through this part here. So this is the bottom that we're looking at right here. So what we're going to do is, and that's the reason why I didn't really put the stickers on. So as we're looking at this, we want it so that this here sweeps back towards that direction, like so. We get it in there so that these are lined up right here, because we're going to eventually put screws into that. And we'll do the same on this side here, running these through there. And we've got that like that. Alright, now we'll put the stickers on through here now, because we probably eventually will have to run these through all through this through other parts of the ship here, which will make it extremely fun if we lose these stickers, or depending on how many we're going to have here, because this is going to be quite a few stickers down in this, and things running through here when we get done, from what the picture looks like. So we've got that done. So those are all taken care of there. Now we're going to take, and once we got that done, we are going to take and go back to these here that we've had sitting for a while, these pieces here, and we're going to bring back this piece here that we've had for right now. And what we're going to do is we're going to put these in right here, up to this, right here on the side here, and on that side there is where they're going to do. So we're kind of doing the same thing as what we just did on this other piece. So let's get them cut off first. And there is no difference between these here, so there's no right and a left because they're the same. Just don't want to lose them. They're the only ones we have. Keep those and keep those for right the moment. And bring back our glue here. And just to kind of hold this in place, we're going to put some more a little bit right there. And some right on. We can see it here. Right there. Now if we can get the pin started, that's the biggest thing, is getting this little pin started. Actually, they are oriented. I looked here, the pin, this pin right here on this edge here is actually angled, so they are right and left angled pieces. I apologize, my dog is having quite a dream right now, I guess. Yep, he's having a dream. I have a dream that one day I will find a dog bone. Go. Got that piece in there. Now we're gonna take this one here. You can't really tell that until you look at it and you go, oh yeah, there's an actual angle to that spot there. Let's make sure we put these in the right direction here. Of course, if I could read Japanese, I might actually, well, I can, but it would take me way longer to take and translate all the things in that. Thank gosh for pictures, right? Thank gosh for pictures. So we've got that done, and now we're going to bring back this piece that we've had laying around, which that's very helpful that we've got that, and we are going to bring that with all of these parts here, like so, these parts like this, and we're going to take and bring this down with these pieces. Because what's going to happen is these here on this side here and here are going to lock those lenses that we just put into place. So we're bringing this together like so here, and we're just kind of bringing that together like that. So that is all set together like that. And once we've got that taken care of, we're now going to take and feed all this stuff down through this. Yay. So what we're going to do, oops, we don't need that quite away right now. So what we're going to do before we do that is we're going to take this here, and we're going to kind of bundle this stuff all together like so. And now that I want one, I can't find one. There we go. Remember these little things? Remember these here? Yes. We're going to take this. We're going to just wrap it around here. And we're going to just kind of loosely tie that down so that just kind of, oops, that down a little tighter here. Let's try that again. Loosely tighten this down here onto these, kind of there, kind of hold them there, which gives us a little bit better. And we're going to do one more right here. Find another one of those pieces. They said they come in handy. Now, whether we won't keep these on here, but we will keep them on here to take and help kind of hold this as we're feeding the stuff down through. See, makes a nice little bundle for us to do that. They don't tell us to do that, but we're going to do it because we are now going to be able to feed this here down through here. So much easier than if we were trying to fight them all together, running all pell-mell. Now we may have to have the do that there. There we go. So we've now got that. Oh, this came out. A balancing act of keeping everything kind of together in the right spot, and there, and we are going to take this wires here, here, and we're going to need to kind of may have to let these loose now a little bit, and so that they can kind of flow together into the space that we've got for them, because they're all together like that. So we're going to loosen this one up here now that we've got it through, just to help us get this well, because pretty much this is going to hold it all together anyways in that. But in the cavity we can kind of maneuver these down around in here, because what we're going to eventually do is we're going to get this has got to go back towards that. So let's see here. Start moving some of these through here so it makes it a little bit easier. There's not as much back here. Oh, there we go. Hear that lock into place there a little better? There we go. There we go. So now we've got right down in here, we've got, you can't see it right in here, but move some of these wires out. There's a hole right there and a hole right there, and that's going to lock our two wings together and our bottom piece to the top piece. So let's get one of these long screws that they gave us here. I want to say they used the long screws. Let me check here and make sure that we've got that. I believe these are the screws that we're going to want right here. Yes, these. Let me check here to make sure that we're. Now that we've got that, we're going to use those. I'm gonna confer with my ones here. 218 are the longer screws. Okay, yes. So we are going to use these really long plastic screws. So we won't need to put any oil on these, though you can. I prefer not to because I don't really want to get oil all over places and stuff. Especially not in the light fixtures and stuff like that down in here. There's that. There's that. So we got one in now. We can let it do its own little thing here. Alrighty. Now that we've got that done, now we want to take this little bad boy here, and this little bad boy is going to go in like this direction, I believe. Let's see here. Nope, it's going to go in. Oops. I'll make sure I got them tight. Nope, I think I've got that tight. We better make sure those are tight. And we've got a lot of little pieces here. We don't want them to go flying. Yes, you want to make sure these are tight together. Pulls this together. Yep, there we go. Now we've got her tight. Now we got her tight. There we go. Now we're going to take this, now that we've added two more pieces to this, we are going to take this here, and these two are going to match up with the two pieces on the front here, and these are going to match up to the two pieces that we put on the side here. And so we're going to take this I just want to make sure that we are doing this correctly. We are bringing them down through. Yep. So we want to take this here, and we want this so this is facing down or up, and we are going to feed all of this crap, which is going to be fun. Oh yes, oh yes. You thought things were going to get tight before. Well, now we're going to have to take this apart. We can kind of slide this down while we're trying to get all these in. Get some of these through here. It's not so much the fiber optics going through, it's all the other stuff. But they assure us that this is all supposed to fit through here. There, now we go. So now I got that all through there. We're going to take this, we'll take this little binding here that was helping us kind of hold all that, our third hand here. We'll take that off, because that is going to not go through there. Just take your time when you're doing stuff like this. It's just don't get frustrated with it. It can get a little monotonous as we go through here. We keep pushing this down through. Yeah, there we go. So now let's take this here, and we will rebundle this with all the new pieces that we've got in here up, just to kind of keep everything kind of tidy for right now while we're working on this. We don't have 20 million things going by. And what we're going to do is we're going to slide this down. Oops. Maybe we should have waited there a little bit. We're going to slide this down. Yep. We should have waited. Why didn't you wait, Howard? I don't know. I forgot. I forgot. I did a bad thing. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring this down so that it comes to that little piece right there, and keep pulling this down further. So we kind of lock this into place, and we're locking in those side pieces here. And our biggest thing is making sure that these brass parts that were sticking, if any of them were sticking out, that they do go in there. Do one side at a time here. Yes. We're having a slight issue with this side here not being down. Let's try this. We'll put this side in first, and then try to push that one in. There we go. Now let's see if we can get this one in. I think what it is this brass piece is just slightly proud of the actual plastic piece. There we go. She's a snug fit, but once she's in there, she's in there. And then we're going to take one of these shorter screws here, like this, and we're going to put this down in there, like so. And that completes volume 28. So we've added this piece here, we built all these, added this part to the lower part, and we've now assembled this top piece, this piece, and we made that. Oh, I forgot a step. I just noticed them. My bad. We got that part in there, but at least we got that wire tidy. So what we're going to do is we're going to glue in these little pieces here to the side, and these do have a orientation thing. This one has a little L bracket kind of to it, and this one has nothing. So that tells us that. So we're going to put a little bit of glue on this here, just a slight dropping, and we will take our one here, and it orientates this gun to this side like so. There we go. And we'll put a little bit on this side here. Sometimes the gel works better versus the loose stuff, but you just got to make sure that you aren't putting it. Now this also has a slight angle to it, which will orientate us to the side here, like so. So there you go. Now you can see the back and the little other bridge that we've got in here that's in the back, and those guns, and that there. And I believe that this here is, you can either leave this on or you can take this off, so you can have this open, like the blast shields or not the blast shields in that. But it's a lot of little fiddly bits to not take and break off. So be very careful what you got. But yep, that's what we've got. So there's more of the first bridge done, and the conning tower, basically. And we'll see you next time. Bye for now. Well, if you made it to the end of this video, thanks for watching. And remember, mental note, like and subscribe to be updated to all my content. And thanks for watching. Bye for now. See you later.